Hey folks, Ron here. Today I'm going to give you a tour of Elvis Presley. How many Elvises were there? Elvis's Hillcrest home. Look at that view. They're doing construction. And this house at the end of the street here that they've knocked down, they're building a new one. You've got city views, the entire city. So there's lots of photos of Elvis at this home. You can see them for yourself. And I want to show you something I didn't show you last time. Because I did take a vlog of this before, but we're going to do another one here. This is all the property here. He had a couple of homes in Beverly Hills. I've done a vlog of all of them, all three of them. What I want to show you first is some writing on the wall. A couple of people with their "I love you, Elvis." Can you see these signatures? Don't know whether you can or not, but they're basically saying "We love you, Elvis." Let's see what else we can get to here. I don't want to encroach too much on their property. Let's see if there's any on the mailbox. There's the home. Beautiful jasmine. And beautiful city views, like I say. It's not the last home on the street, but it's close to the last home on the street. Yeah. Elvis used to come up the street here, roar up the street. Very quiet here. He used to come up on his motorcycle. And occasionally meet people at the gate. Interesting that it says CP, or what looks like CP, now, as opposed to EP, obviously. Just a little closer, we can see that the view through the home is right down the hillside. Let's see if we can get more of the gate here. Here's a little bit more. Showed you that one. Here's somebody from Chile, 2012. So, people signing the wall. There's some down in here too. I love this street because it's very quiet. I love this location because it's near or at the end of the street. And it's quite beautiful up here. Elvis was certainly a tragic figure in history. I think that a lot of different factors, three in particular, would have really mattered for as far as Elvis is concerned. Number one, if his mother had lived. You know, the fame, Elvis's fame, freaked out his mother Gladys tremendously. And I wonder if this guy's security that's coming here. You really, let me pause for a minute. I was talking about the things that I think really impacted Elvis's life. I think that Elvis got famous very quickly. He wanted it, but the fame also scared him to a degree. And his mother Gladys, who he was, as you well know if you follow Elvis, they were extraordinarily attached. I'll show you some city views while I'm talking too. And Elvis's mother couldn't handle the fame and was extremely worried. Even from the first weeks, months he was out on the road, traveling, touring, she was worried about him. Always premonitions and worry and nightmares about him being killed. Now, it wasn't for nothing because guys were jealous of him, you know, their girlfriends falling in lust and love with Elvis. So guys were trying to beat up Elvis more than once. In fact, later there were purported assassination attempts, or at least notes about assassination, but nothing ever came through. Anyway, it really, his mother couldn't take it. and she also wanted to look good for the cameras now that she was a celebrity too. They had to move out of the first house that Elvis bought for them. That's Gladys and Vernon, and excuse me, and buy Graceland and move into Graceland. And she was heavy set and wanted to be attractive for the TV and the fans, and she had never known much other than Tupelo and Memphis. And she started drinking a lot and taking pills, as Elvis would later take pills, and it ended up really, in essence, destroying her liver and killing her. And Elvis was never the same. He was full of anger, some guilt, even though it certainly wasn't his fault. He would have done anything to keep his mother alive. And that led into, being in the Army, which he was already severely demoralized about being in the Army, missing 2 years of his career, thinking he'd come back to no career, being out of the United States, not being able to perform. His mother, Elvis actually, when he got the word that his mother, and he was in Texas, the family was in Texas at the time, when he got the word that his mother was dying or near death, he went to his commanding officer's desk, and they weren't going to let him have an emergency leave. And he said, I'm going, and I'm going AWOL whether you give me your leave or not, and I'll hold a press conference afterwards, and I'll say you're the one. I went AWOL because of this, and these guys wouldn't let me go. And boy, that guy snapped to it right there and gave him emergency leave. They did not want that kind of bad publicity. But that, and being in the Army at the time, was really the start of the fall of Elvis Presley, and he made it another 19 years. The other thing was the divorce. I'm not going to justify, or I'm not going to make excuses here for what I think happened, but all I can say is that while Elvis had lots and lots of flings, and maybe more than a fling with Anne Margaret, it was done to him too. Priscilla had a years-long affair with Mike Stone, and then in 1972 left Elvis for Mike Stone. And they were together a while. They did break up eventually, but she went from Graceland with Elvis to Mike Stone and living in an apartment. And Elvis never recovered from that. He did love Elvis. He did that too, but he also hated Elvis. He did love Priscilla, but he also never recovered from the ego blow. And if you look, that's when his weight really started ballooning, and part of that was taking downers. And taking downers, I think, was trying to forget, to zone out, to just be in a fog all the time. So it's a real tragedy what happened to Elvis, probably the greatest performer of the 20th century, I think, and a really complex man. And I was glad to show you the home here and the neighborhood and give my little speech. All right, folks, again, my name is Ron. If you like the channel, please subscribe. If you do subscribe, please hit the little bell icon next to the subscription button, and then you'll get notifications as to when I post. And also, please give the channel likes. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you at the next location. Thank you, and bye-bye.